The Oppo Find X9 Ultra hasn't even launched yet, and somehow it already feels fully revealed. This latest leak doesn't just hint at a few features, it basically lays out the entire phone. And if even half of this is accurate, we're looking at one of the most aggressive camera-focused smartphones ever made. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. Now, why does this matter? Because the Ultra category has quietly turned into the ultimate battleground for smartphone brands. It's no longer just about performance or design, it's about who can push mobile photography the furthest. And right now, Oppo seems ready to go all in. If you care about camera quality on a phone, this is the kind of device that could actually shift expectations. Let's start with the basics before getting to the main highlight. The display is expected to be a 6.82-inch LTPO AMOLED panel with a 144 Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 3600 nits. That's not just an upgrade, it's a noticeable jump from the previous model. Smoother scrolling, brighter outdoor visibility, and overall a more premium viewing experience. Under the hood, the phone is rumored to run on the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip. That's the next step up from last year's already powerful chipset, so performance shouldn't be a concern at all, whether it's gaming, video editing, or just heavy multitasking. Pair that with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, and this thing is clearly built for power users. Battery is another area where Oppo seems to be pushing harder. A 7,050 mAh battery is being reported, which is massive for a flagship. That's roughly a 1,000 milliamp increase over its predecessor. And it's not just about size, you're also getting 100-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging. So even if you somehow drain it, topping it back up should be fast and painless. But let's be honest, none of that is why this phone is getting attention. The real story here is the camera system. This is where things start to feel a little crazy. The Oppo Find X9 Ultra is rumored to feature a quad camera setup that includes not one, but two 200-megapixel sensors. There's a 200-megapixel main camera and another 200-megapixel periscope telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom. On top of that, you get a 50-megapixel periscope telephoto with 10x optical zoom, plus a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera. That's an incredibly stacked setup. It basically covers every focal length you could realistically want, from ultra-wide landscapes to extreme zoom shots, and does it with high-resolution sensors across the board. For selfies, there's reportedly a 50-megapixel front camera, which is already higher than what most flagships offer. And then there's an interesting addition, a true color camera. This is specifically designed to improve color accuracy, which has always been one of the biggest challenges in smartphone photography. Oppo is expected to continue its partnership with Hasselblad, which means we'll likely see an upgraded master mode for more professional-level control. That combination of hardware and software is what could really make a difference, because great photos aren't just about megapixels, they're about how everything works together. Design-wise, the phone seems to be leaning heavily into that camera-first identity. The back is expected to resemble a digital camera, with a mix of metal and artificial leather. It's a bold choice, but it makes sense for a device that's clearly trying to stand out as a photography tool, not just another slab phone. It's also expected to weigh around 235 to 236 grams, so it won't be light, but that's pretty normal for a phone with this kind of hardware. Thickness could vary between 8.65 millimeters and 9.5 millimeters, depending on the version. And in terms of durability, it's rumored to come with IP66, IP68, and even IP69 ratings, which basically means it's built to handle water and dust without much worry. Now, here's where things get interesting from a bigger perspective. Oppo has already confirmed that this phone won't be limited to China, it's getting a global launch. That's a big deal because it puts it directly in competition with the biggest names in the market. And honestly, that competition is needed. Brands like Oppo and Vivo have been pushing camera innovation really hard lately, especially with their flagship models. They're experimenting with larger sensors, better zoom systems, and more advanced color science. That said, there's still one area where some people feel other brands have the edge: computational photography. Phones like iPhones, for example, are known for consistently delivering balanced, reliable images thanks to their software processing. But that's exactly why this kind of competition matters. When more brands push boundaries, users get better options, and the gap between hardware and software keeps getting smaller. So, if this leak is accurate, the Oppo Find X9 Ultra isn't just another flagship, it's a statement. It's Oppo saying they're not just competing, they're trying to lead in mobile photography. And honestly, if you're into mobile cameras, this might be one of the most exciting releases of the year. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.